No.
I mean, the Industrial and Commercial Incentive Board, we granted them the authority to come back with a recommendation, which they have been doing, working on, providing us diligent updates very frequently. And this is their recommendation. I mean, that we've entrusted them to make good, sound decisions, and they have come back with this proposal. And I've reviewed it before the meeting for quite some time. I think they did a very good job. I think it provides tax relief to the targeted areas within the town, which we'd like to see further businesses grow, especially small businesses. And just so everybody knows, some of the people that have received the exemption from this, when it was currently in place back a couple years ago, was places like Frank's Place, which I'm sure most of us have a frequented computer outlet. That's another small local business. And that's what this law does. It encourages and will help these small businesses grow and add jobs within the community. So I think it's well drafted.
I think you passed me on comments, Chad, and I did want to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
When we decided to cancel this 485B in 2005, it seemed the very best idea because we wanted to take advantage of the taxation that was coming in. I know that when that happened, I received several letters from small business people, particularly one music studio on Taft Road. And so I think that just pinpointing where this exemption is at might be a problem, because there are other folks coming in different areas of the town and trying to get started for to do business with people here, create jobs, provide services, and I'm worried that just certain places is going to be a problem.
It's still allowed at the county level. So they're still filing their applications in my office, and they're still getting processed at the county level. It's just the town portion that is changing.
So they'll get a county exemption and a town exemption?
Yes.
If we pass this?
Yes, ma'am. That's how it was before.
Do members of this board really think this is fair when the public is not as aware of all of the ramifications of this? I mean, you've heard from people, they don't know enough about this proposed law. It hasn't been published. The geographic locations haven't been made available to the public. I find it amazing, that you want to go forward with this without giving the public, the right to the information and then to come back and speak.
I think I just want to make it clear that the draft of this local law has been on file in Tracy's office for quite some time. The public hearing notice for this did notice that it was available for review in Tracy's office. So I think the public did have some opportunity to review the local law before tonight. It's not as if it was totally unavailable.
At what point would they go to the town clerk's office when people work from 9 to 5? Would you mind explaining that?
That is a very good question.
There's 30,000 people in this town. I wish to God 30,000 people would go in Tracy's office in one day. Jennifer, there's a point of, I'm sorry, there's a point of communication. Don't shut it off.
How many people have access to the website?
She asked how many people have access to the website. No, it hasn't been on the website.
If the website had the information, I think we would get more people involved, asking questions, looking at the board's recommendations. I'm sure the law is the proposed bill. The proposed law is well written. That's not my concern. My concern is that everyone know exactly what it is that we're doing. The geographic locations, I wasn't a member of this board that worked on these recommendations, and so I was surprised when I actually read, the geographic locations that this was going to be limited to, and I had some concerns about that, and I really would like to hear recommendations from the people who were on this board, you know, and to consider it. I don't see any reason to hurry this. Why are we hurrying to get a vote on this tonight?
One thing I'd just like to point out, I'm just looking at these areas that were designated right here quickly. One of them, it says from the DeWitt Town Line on east-west sides of Northern Boulevard. For any of you that travel the Northern Boulevard area, that's basically an area that's probably going to be corporate headquarters some days, things of that sort. One of the biggest problems we have over there is there are no sewers. If we were to expect a corporation to come in here, if we did give them some type of an incentive, they would put the sewers in, which in turn could help us just tie into the next one, to the next one, to the next one. We could work our way down the road. Another one here I just looked at quick. Something that's desperately needed in Bridgeport. I get dozens of phone calls a week. A grocery store. If we could get a grocery store to go in there with a 485B, the people would just think that was the best thing that ever happened. There's a lot of older people who live up there in Wedgwood. Most of them do not drive. They have to ask for either their sons, daughters, or whatever to take them to either Walmart or Wegmans or wherever else is down there, Price Chopper. So that there in itself is a great thing. What's the other one here? It's, the area on Cicero Center, that's basically all open in the Hamlet area right there. Someday that could turn into something. Maybe they'd have a store there so the people wouldn't have to travel a considerable distance. On Sneller Road, all of Sneller Road, Party and Sneller, that's basically all commercial. If we get some more commercial up there, that could help us tremendously. And that's another area where there is no sewage. I think the key to this thing, it's not only that you're going to give them a tax incentive. Every time that a business comes to town, they're willing to take that sewer line, either another 1,500 foot, 50 foot, or whatever it is, it's saving us all money. It's very, very expensive to put sewers in. And if we can give somebody a little bit of a break for them to run that sewer line, I think it's a home run for all of us.
Then why limit it to certain areas of the town? Why not open it to, I think that was Ms. Rizzo's point. Why the hurry?
What was your explanation from your board on that, Nina?
Well, there's already, as you've mentioned before, the traffic issues and the bottleneck over here at the corridor of 31 and 11 intersection. Also this strip right here on Route 11 from 31 heading south to East Circle Drive. We already have business upon business upon business. Let's face it, if somebody wants to go in there, they're going to go in there regardless of any incentive. We may have to offer it like an 8% of their tax bill.
They're going to go in there regardless of any incentive, and we're going to still be faced with the traffic issues. And you're right, traffic is a nightmare in this town. You know, so we're pushing it here, and I don't know why. We've got too many issues on the table. You know, and the public is not well informed, and most of the people that got up to talk spoke against this. You know, are we going to keep passing ordinances and laws, you know, that the people of the town don't support?
Any other comments?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 485B real property tax exemption local law as drafted.
Second.
Ms. Zambrano?
No.
Ms. Tarwacki?
No.
Mr. Rybak?
Yes.
Mr. Corl?
Just the last quick comment, which I don't want to beat a dead horse, is this law was in place which covered the whole town in 2005 and was repealed so that big box stores could not take advantage and get tax breaks, which would in turn increase the tax burden on everybody, the residents of the town. If this were to cover the entire town, like some have proposed, you could have a Marshall's, a Corl, whatever on Route 11 come in and be able to get a 50% tax break for the next 3 years rather than paying the full assessment. I just wanted to clarify that. And I vote yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.